Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to Candy's Cozy Couch. My name is Candace, and my nickname is Candy. That's how I came up with that really fascinating name. At least I think it's pretty fascinating. Well, actually, the book that I'm going to read tonight is pretty much fascinating to me. Boys and girls, it is that time. It is time for the checklist. I'm going to go ahead and do a little keyboarding for you here on my keyboard. Let me see if I can, so you can see the keyboard. There it is. Excuse the darkness. The light and changed it up a little bit. Here, let's see if that's too much background light. There you go. I'm on the keyboard doing nothing really. But I'm going to go ahead and play this anyway. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's time for the checklist. 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 Just like this. Don't boo me too bad, boys and girls. I just want to tap on my keys a little bit. I got a lot of work to do as it comes to playing the piano, but I have it here, right here, so that I can practice. That's the whole point, is that I can be motivated to practice and learn and get better at it. But let's get this checklist out of the way. Did you guys eat a good dinner? Are your stomachs full and satisfied? Check. Did you clean your room? Don't have a messy room when you go to bed. Make sure your bedroom's clean. Check. Is your homework done? Did you do your homework? Yes, it is the weekend, and that doesn't matter. Still do a little bit of practice in whatever it is you're learning in school. Do your homework. Check. Let me see. What else? Do you have your PJs? Got your favorite PJs picked out? And your outfit for tomorrow, what it is you plan on wearing for the next day. Check. Baths, showers, have you taken them? Baths or showers, have you taken them? Check. Did you brush your teeth? Are your teeth shiny, glistening, gleaming, white, and your breath all nice and fresh? Check. Night light check. Don't want you guys bumping and crashing into things at the middle of the night if you have to get up and move through the house. Make sure you have a nightlight. Check. Did you give your I love yous, hugs, and kisses and smooches to your family members and your pets that live at home with you? Check. Let me think. Did you brush your hair, comb your hair, wrap your hair, tie up your hair, tame your hair, put on your nightcap if you got one that go with your pajamas? Check. Oh yeah, I'm moving along with the checklist. I want to make sure I get everything in. And of course, last but not least, did you say your prayers? If you did not say your prayers yet, that's fine. Just make sure you say your prayers before you drift off into dreamland. Before you get comfy, cozy, and snug as a bug in a rug in bed, make sure you say your prayers. Check. All right, boys and girls, we're going to get into tonight's story. And tonight's story is Horton Hatches the Egg. This is a Dr. Seuss book. It's going to have a little glare at first because of the sheen off of the book. But I'm just showing that to you, trying to avoid too much glare. All right. Let's get right to it, shall we? Horton Hatches the Egg. There we go. See, I don't mind the extra light there because it's not gleaming. All right. Sighed Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored, and I've kinks in my legs. From just sitting here day after day. It's work. How I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation, fly off for a rest. If I could find someone to stay on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away free. Now look at that. My goodness. Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. "Hello," called the lazy bird, smiling her best. "You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest?" The elephant laughed. "Why, of all silly things, I haven't feathers and I haven't wings. Me on your egg? Why, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense." "Tut, tut," answered Maisie. "I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come be a good fellow. I know you won't mind." "I can't," said the elephant. "Please," begged the bird. "I won't be gone long, sir. I give you my word. I'll hurry right back. Why, I'll never be missed." Do you guys think that bird is gonna hurry back for real? All the words, you can see all those words, or maybe you don't, but let's make sure you see the picture. Ta-da! Doot doot. "Very well," said the elephant. "Since you insist you want a vacation, go fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg, and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful. I mean what I say." "Toodaloo," sang out Maisie and fluttered away. So I'll just show you guys the picture. No real need to show the words because I just read them. The first thing to do," murmured Horton. "Let's see. The first thing to do is to prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done before I get on it. I must weigh a ton." And you do weigh a ton, Horton. You do weigh a ton. A ton indeed. Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg slept. Look at him go. Y'all see Horton? Look what he doing. What? I told you this was fascinating. Then Horton the elephant smiled. Now that's that. And he sat and he sat and he sat and he sat. Look at him. Look at that big old elephant up there. What are they doing? This is crazy. And he sat all that day and he kept that egg warm. And he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured and it lightened, it thundered, it rumbled. "This isn't much fun," the poor elephant grumbled. "I wish he'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget." Yeah, that's a shame. Don't leave that elephant out there like that. But Maisie, by this time, was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach, and having such fun, such a wonderful rest, decided she'd never go back to her nest. Oh, now wait a minute. How's she gonna leave her birdie like that? How's she gonna leave her egg like that? Oh, no. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn. The leaves blew away, and then came the winter, the snow and the sleet, and icicles hung from the trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, "I'll stay on this egg, and I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Now you guys remember that phrase, because I think Horton may have a few more times to say it. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered round, and they shouted with glee, "Look, Horton the elephant's up in a tree." They taunted, they teased him, they yelled, "How absurd! Oh, Horton the elephant thinks he's a bird." Uh-oh. Not Horton. Horton doesn't think he's a bird. Horton's just doing a favor for a bird, guys. You guys are being ridiculous. They laughed and they laughed, Then they all ran away, and Horton was lonely. He wanted to play, but he sat on the egg and continued to say, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Ah, that's the second time he said that, isn't it? Boy, good job, Horton. Way to sit on that egg. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended. But poor Horton's troubles were far, far from ended. For while Horton sat there, so faithful, so kind, then hunters came. Uh-oh, sneaking up softly behind. Oh no, not the hunters. Oh no, that's not good. Oh man. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart. Oh, they gonna shoot him? You think they gonna shoot Horton? Oh my goodness. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high, and he threw out his chest, and he looked at the hunters as such as to say, shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. That's the third time. And he brave, too, to stand up to those hunters. But the men didn't shoot. Much to Horton's surprise, they dropped their 3 guns, and they stared with wide eyes. Look, they all shouted. Can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree? It's strange, it's amazing, it's wonderful, new. Don't shoot him, we'll catch him. That's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive. Why, he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back home to a circus for money. Well, all right. Well, good thing they didn't shoot him. Let's be glad about that. Definitely glad about that. And the first thing he knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. We're off, the men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy 100%. Yeah, I would have been unhappy too. You just gonna uproot my tree? You just gonna move me, and I don't want to be moved? I'd be upset too. Poor Horton. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountain, 10,000 feet high. Then down the mountain, and down to the sea went the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. That's doing the most. Do y'all believe this? Look at this. This is ridiculous. But it's also fascinating. Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, out over the ocean, and ooh, what a trip, rolling and tossing and splashing with the spray. And Horton said day after day after day, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. But oh, am I seasick 100%. So he meant what he said, and he said what he meant. That's for sure. He's still sitting on that egg. Wow, that's pretty amazing. These pages are so new in this book. After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. All ashore, the men shouted, and down with a lurch went Horton the elephant, still on his perch, tied onto a board that could just scarcely hold him. Bump, Horton landed, and then the men sold him. Oh, they sold him. Oh, bless their heart. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? They sold Horton. Oh my goodness. sold to a circus. Then week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peep. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Wichita, and Washington too, to Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota, and everywhere thousands of folks flocked to see and laugh at the elephant up in the tree. Poor Horton grew sadder, and further he went, but he said as he sat in the hot, noisy tent, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. I believe that's the fourth or fifth time he said it exactly like that. So he is really showing his integrity about what he's doing. He's sticking to it, and he's getting through it. Good old Horton the elephant. Then one day the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not so far from Palm Beach, and dawdling along way up high in the sky. Who, of all people, should chance to fly by but that old good-for-nothing bird, Runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy, and spying the flags and the rents and the tents just below. She sang out, "What fun! Why, I'll go to the show." Well, isn't this a coinkydink? A coincidence. He landed in a circus not far from where Maisie was, and Maisie's going to go to the show. And she swooped from the clouds through an open tent door. "Good gracious," gasped Maisie. "I've seen you before." Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, wonder what happened. But before he could talk, what happened, guys? Let's see. There rang out the noisiest, ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that he'd sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching. "My egg!" shouted Horton. "My egg! Why, it's hatching!" Wow, he sat on it for a long time, too. I don't think you have to sit on the egg that long. But that's it. That's what he did. "But it's mine!" screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done. Now she wanted it back. "It's my egg," she sputtered. "You stole it from me. Get off of my nest and get out of my tree." Poor Horton backed down with a sad, heavy heart. Now, you know what? I would have told her something if I was Horton. I definitely would have been like, "Hold up, wait a minute. What? How you gonna claim the egg and you left it?" But at that very instant, the egg burst apart, and out of the pieces of red and white shell from the egg that he'd sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his. Oh, wow. Maybe that's why it took more weeks. What? How? How is this happening? Are you serious? Told you this was fascinating. And the people came shouting, "What's all that about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered and they cheered and they cheered more and more. They never seen anything like this before. "My goodness, my gracious," they shouted. "My word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird. And it should be like that," because Horton was faithful. He sat and he sat. He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. And what is it, boys and girls, after I show you this picture? What is it? If he meant what he said and he said what he meant, And they sent him home happy 100%. Yes, indeed. Good for Horton, because that bird knows she wasn't right. Talking about he stole her egg. Ooh. The end. Yay. All right, boys and girls. That was quite an extensive story. Yes, indeed, a lot going on. Told you it was fascinating. An elephant sitting on an egg, and the egg hatches, and the egg is half the elephant that the elephant was, and half bird. Wow. All right, boys and girls, that'll be something interesting to dream about, huh? But you can dream any dream you want to dream. So I won't hold you up too much further, but I will remind you that all you have to do is to close your eyes, whisper to yourself what you would like to dream about, relax your body, be calm, cool, collected, snug as a bug in a rug, rested and relaxed and safe and quiet, and allow yourself to drift off into dreamland so that you can dream your special dream. And this is my cue to get out of your way so that you can do that. See you next time, boys and girls. Bye bye.